Details of what the Prime Minister said. India salutes its braves. Colonel Manpreet Singh, Major Ashish Dhonchak and Deputy Superintendent of Police Humayun Muzammil Bhatt die in anti-terror operations in Anantnag. Lashkar Front TRF takes responsibility. Vowing to avenge our bravehearts, forces encircled 2 Lashkar terrorists at the encounter site, including LET Commander Uzair Khan. Joint security ops at encounter site underway. Wide outrage against Pakistan terror. Social media up in arms as clamour to stop cricket with Pakistan increases. No cricket terror tango, says angry India. Ahead of Mission 2024, NDA ally Janasena joins hands with TDP. Pawan Kalyan claims they will fight with Naidu to take on Jagan's ISRCP. Politics peaks over government special session agenda. Congress question centre's list, says it's hiding the legislative grenade. As Nipah virus scare continues in Kerala, 5-member central team has been sent to Kozhikode district to survey conditions. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu ramp up vigil. And let's begin with the latest attack that's come in from Prime Minister Modi. Earlier today, he spoke in Madhya Pradesh, now speaking in Raigad of Chhattisgarh. You had Prime Minister Modi firing another salvo at the India alliance, once again on the issue of Sanatana Dharma. Prime Minister Modi questioning the India alliance and has claimed that they're trying to target Sanatani, trying to end Sanatan Dharma in the country. Let's play out for you some of the highlights of what the Prime Minister said just a short while ago.
हमारे देश के खिलाफ जो साजिश हो रही है उसके प्रति जागरूक करना चाहता हूं। जिन लोगों को आप सभी ने पिछले 9 साल से केंद्र सरकार से बाहर कर रखा है, जो लोग लगातार चुनाव हार रहे हैं, वे लोग अब आपसे इतनी नफरत से भर गए हैं कि उन्होंने आपकी पहचान, आपकी संस्कृति के खिलाफ ही मोर्चा खोल दिया है। इन लोगों ने मिलकर एक इंडी गठबंधन बनाया है। कुछ लोग इसे गठबंधिया गठबंधन भी कहते हैं। अब इंडी गठबंधन ने तय किया है कि वो भारत की सनातन संस्कृति को समाप्त करके रहेगा। ऐसी सनातन संस्कृति को समाप्त करने का ऐलान इंडी अलायंस के लोगों ने किया है। छत्तीसगढ़ के लोगों को, देश के लोगों को इनसे बहुत सतर्क रहना है। ये भारत की हजारों साल से चली आ रही संस्कृति को मिटाना चाहते हैं, ये भारत को मिटाना चाहते हैं।
And there you have the Prime Minister lashing out at the India alliance, demanding answers from all of the allies for the comment made by Udhayanidhi Stalin. Not the first attack by Prime Minister Modi. Earlier today, Madhya Pradesh too, he fired a similar attack at the India alliance, and it's forced many of the members of this alliance, like the AAP and Congress, to come out and clear their stance, saying very clearly they condemn what was said and distance themselves from these remarks. Let's play out for you our detailed report on exactly what the Prime Minister said earlier.
ये इंडी अलायंस उस सनातन संस्कारों को, परंपरा को समाप्त करने का संकल्प लेकर के आए हैं।
The Sanatan storm has escalated in how with the Prime Minister now wading into the controversy in battleground Madhya Pradesh. Lashing out at the DMK, Prime Minister Modi has now put the India alliance on the mat over Udhayanidhi's Sanatan comment. The message is clear. The BJP is now going to make the alliance party in the north for their southern allies comment.
कमंडिया गठबंधन, ये इंडी अलायंस उस सनातन संस्कारों को, परंपरा को समाप्त करने का संकल्प लेकर के आए हैं। आज इन लोगों ने खुल करके बोलना शुरू किया है, खुल करके हमला करना शुरू करके दिया है। कल ये लोग हम पर होने वाले हमले और बढ़ाने वाले हैं। देश के कोने कोने में हर सनातनी को, इस देश को प्यार करने वाले को, इस देश की मिट्टी को प्यार करने वाले को सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है।
And it is not just Prime Minister Modi. All the BJP bigwigs are now putting the focus on the Sanatan storm, knowing that for the India alliance, this could prove to be a big self-goal in poll-bound states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan.
जो सनातन नहीं डिगा था रावण के अत्याचार से, जो सनातन नहीं मिटा था कंस के अहंकार से, उस सनातन को ये सत्ताजीवी क्या मिटा पाएंगे।
Meanwhile, DMK's allies have been attempting damage control, distancing themselves completely from Udhayanidhi's comment.
अरे मोहन भागवत जी को क्यों भूल जाते हैं आप लोग? मोहन भागवत जी ने सबसे ज्यादा स्वीकारोक्ति की, आप लोगों ने उनको बिसरा दिया। उन्होंने कहा 2000 साल तक हमने उनका उत्पीड़न किया। इस अफसाने में स्टालिन कहीं नहीं आते ना। कोई भी धर्म, में बार बार कह रहा हूं, उसको इसके आधार पर होना होगा।
But the DMK remains defiant. Just yesterday, Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin again shot back at any demands for an apology and made it clear his Sanatan fight continues.
மணிப்பூர் இஷ்யூ பற்றி பேசுங்க, சனாதனம் பற்றி அப்புறம் பேசுவோம். நான் இங்கே தான் இருக்க போகிறேன். தொடர்ந்து 200 வருஷமாக பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதை மட்டுமே இப்போ பேசாதீங்க. கண்டிப்பாக அதை பற்றி பேசிதான் ஆகணும். பற்றி பேசுவோம். அதை விட ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம் வந்து இப்போ இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த பாசிச பாஜக அரசை வந்து நம்ம வந்து உழைக்கணும். அதை கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும்.
But it is a seesaw battle within the DMK too, as Temple Minister Shekhar Babu under fire has claimed they represent those who follow Sanatan as well.
இவைகள் சனாதானத்திலே குறிப்பிட்டிருப்பதால் அந்த கோட்பாடுகளை தான் நாங்கள் எதிர்க்கின்றோமே தவிர சனாதானத்தை ஏற்றுக்கொண்ட அனைவரையும் நாங்கள் எதிர்க்கவில்லை.
Will DMK be forced to completely backtrack now on the Sanatan storm? As India allies come under attack from the Prime Minister, this could prove costly for the opposition in the poll-bound North states. Bureau Report, India Today.
அந்த மாநாட்டோட பேரு சனாதன ஒழிப்பு மாநாடு தான்.
Let me bring in Polami Saha on this broadcast. She tracks the BJP closely for us. Polami, good evening. An issue that started in Tamil Nadu is now resonating across the country, perhaps more than it's actually resonating in the state that it originated in. And that's courtesy the BJP raking it up at every given instance, and the Prime Minister directly raising this as well. The BJP strategy, it seems, is very, very clear, Polami, in states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh as well, that they're going to be raising the Sanatana Dharma controversy because they believe it will benefit them.
That's right. The BJP is definitely going to take this to the poll-bound states, the 5 poll-bound states, for the end of this year. This is an issue which is going to resonate and reverberate across these states during election season. And the Prime Minister has already blown the poll bugle in Madhya Pradesh today, as he was there in order to inaugurate several developmental projects. But already, as he'd already told the Union Council of Ministers, in fact, in a meeting, and which was a diktat which was to go out to the party and to every cadre at the bottommost pile of, as far as the party echelons is concerned, his message was very clear. You have to rebut this. You have to attack all of these comments that have been made against Sanatana Dharma. You have to take it on, and you have to ensure that the people realize that Udhayanidhi Stalin and the Indie Alliance, as he refers to them as now, the Indie Alliance are basically out to eradicate Sanatan Dharma, destroy Sanatan Dharma, and hence all Sanatanis need to rise and resist these attacks. So clearly the message is from the Prime Minister. It went out from him just a few days ago to his Union Council of Ministers, and today he has initiated that tirade against these attacks on Sanatan Dharma. So it's just expect that all ministers, all party leaders, all netas, everyone who will campaign in these elections will be raising this issue, Akshita.
Interesting, and we've already seen that playing out. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has raised it. Most other chief ministers have. Minister Anurag Thakur and so many others. Every opportunity they have to attack the India Alliance, they're raising this Sanatana Dharma controversy. Thanks very much, Paulmi, for joining us with those details. But we've seen a string of such comments by the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. It started, of course, with Udhayanidhi Stalin comparing Sanatana Dharma to dengue, to malaria, to a mosquito. And since then, it's only snowballed. Why? Because the DMK has been largely defiant, largely unrepentant, targeting Sanatana Dharma time and again, and then going forward and targeting Hinduism as a whole. Which is why even the defense that's been put forth by the DMK, saying that, this is an attack on only caste system, and we refer to Sanatana Dharma, we're referring to casteism, that's fallen flat. Because a comment by A. Raja came to light where he said Hinduism is a menace to the world. I want to play out now for you the comments that have come in for the last 1 week from the DMK that once again reaffirms that yes, they stick to their stand.
சனாதன எதிர்ப்பு மாநாடு என்று போடாமல் சனாதன ஒழிப்பு மாநாடு என்றும் நீங்கள் இதை போட்டிருக்கிறீர்கள், இதை அழைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு பெயரிட்டீர்கள். அதற்கு என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்கக்கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும். அப்படிதான் இந்த சனாதனம். சனாதனம் என்பதை எதிர்ப்பதை விட ஒழிப்பதே நாம் செய்ய வேண்டிய முதல் காரியமாகும்.
ஆனால் எனக்கு என்ன விந்தையாக இருக்கிறது என்றால், உதயநிதி ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள் மென்மையாகத்தான் சொன்னார், மலேரியா போல டெங்கு போல ஒழிக்க வேண்டும் என்று. மலேரியாவுக்கும் டெங்குக்கும் சோசியல் ஸ்டிக்மா இல்லை, அது ஒரு அருவருப்பா சமூகம் பார்க்காது. அருவருவாக பார்க்குற ஒரு சனாதனத்தை சொல்லணும்னா முறைப்படி ஒரு காலத்தில் தொழுநோய் இருந்தது, இப்போ HIV இருந்தது. எங்களை பொறுத்தவரை HIV தொழுநோயை போல HIV போல சமூக அவலம் நிறைந்த ஒரு நோயாகத்தான் நாம் பார்க்கிறோம். ஒன்று, India is the reason for the global disease in the name of caste, dividing the people on the caste line, dividing the people on the economic line by using the caste. Caste cannot be used only for social evil. It depends upon the economic evil also. Those who are living Indians in other countries also propagating caste in the name of Hindu religion. So Hindu religion is a biggest menace not only to India, now it is a menace to the entire world.
எங்களுக்குள் கருத்து வேறுபாடுகள் இருக்கலாம், ஆனால் இந்த சனாதனத்தை எதிர்க்க வேண்டும் என்பதிலே யாருக்கும் எந்த வேறுபட்ட கருத்தும் இல்லை. இதில் இருப்பவர்கள் எல்லாம் சமத்துவத்தை உருவாக்க வேண்டும், மத இன சிறுபான்மை சமுதாயத்தை காப்பாற்ற வேண்டும், ஆண் பெண் சமத்துவத்தை காப்பாற்ற வேண்டும். அரசியல்ல நாம வெற்றி பெற்று அங்க உட்கார்ந்தாதான் இதெல்லாம் செய்ய முடியும்.
So those are the comments that have been made by the DMK. How has the India Alliance reacted? How have the DMK's allies reacted? Especially in the face of the Prime Minister now raking it up. It's important to see how India Alliance really chooses to combat this. In the last many days since this controversy broke, you've had a series of comments being made by the India Alliance leaders where they've distanced themselves. None of them actually choose to name the DMK or Udhayanidhi Stalin, merely saying that we don't agree with this comment on Sanatana Dharma. Let's play out some of those reactions for you to tell you which party stands where.
I feel that they have to respect every religion. Instead of saying condemn, my humble request to everybody that we should not comment anything which may hurt the major section or the small section of the people. We have to remember unity and diversity.
मैं भी सनातन धर्म से हूँ, ये भी सनातन धर्म से, आप लोग भी, आप में से भी कई लोग सनातन धर्म के होंगे। मुझे लगता है हमें एक दूसरे के धर्म की इज्जत करनी चाहिए। एक दूसरे के धर्म के खिलाफ बोलना अच्छी बात नहीं है, गलत बात है। सबको एक दूसरे के धर्म की इज्जत करनी चाहिए।
I completely endorse his speech. We are a deeply religious people. Most people are temple going. I myself am very ritualistic. I visit temples every week. There is no concept of Sanatana Dharma in our daily religious practices. Sanatana Dharma only means a caste hierarchical society, and Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin only called for the elimination of that caste hierarchical society. It is like calling for the end of racism. Just because you call the end of racism, it does not mean you are calling for the killing of all racists or something like that.
देश में लगभग 90 करोड़ हिंदू रहते हैं, देश के बाहर भी रहते हैं, पूरे विश्व में रहते हैं। मारन साहब की कोई व्यक्तिगत राय हो सकती है, उनके राज्य में द्रविड़ संस्कृति की बात हो सकती है, जो कि धर्मों को नहीं मानते, वो उनकी राय है। लेकिन इस देश में हिंदू है, मुसलमान है, पारसी है, जैन है, सभी लोग रहते हैं, लिंगायत है, सभी की भावना है, सभी के धर्म है, सभी की आस्था है।
In election season, this really has become the biggest talking point now as BJP is deploying all of its machinery to put the focus on the Sanatana Dharma controversy. I'm slipping into a very short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we're getting you details of an incident that's just come in from the Mumbai airport of a charter plane that's veered off the runway. Details on whether any casualties have been reported coming your way.
India's biggest international event, India's most amazing global power flex, and India watched it on one channel. The biggest team from the venue, the most watched anchors, blazing fast images and news breaks, and first with the only voices that matter. The end result, total viewership domination. India has a new national consensus. Bharat watches India today.
जहां एक तरफ भारत प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में दुनिया की एक बड़ी महाताकत के रूप में उभर रहा है, वहीं बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो भारत और भारतीयता पर आज भी प्रश्न खड़ा करके भारत की विरासत को अपमानित करने का कुत्सित प्रयास कर रहे हैं। उन्हें राम की परंपरा अच्छी नहीं लगती, उन्हें कृष्ण की परंपरा अच्छी नहीं लगती, उन्हें महाराणा प्रताप, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज और गुरु गोविंद सिंह की परंपरा का सम्मान अच्छा नहीं लगता। वे लोग विदेशी हुकूमत को, विदेशी आक्रांताओं को आज भी अपना आका मानना चाहते हैं।
जो सनातन नहीं डिगा था रावण के अत्याचार से, जो सनातन नहीं मिटा था कंस के अहंकार से, और जो सनातन नहीं मिटा था बाबर और औरंगजेब की तलवार से, उस सनातन को ये सत्ताजीवी क्या मिटा पाएंगे।
Pakistan-sponsored terror that has taken the life of 3 young officers, ruined families as well. Can cricket be allowed? Should it be permitted? Can cricket go hand in hand while Pakistan sponsors terror against India, against Kashmir? These are some of the reactions that I've compiled where on social media, and this is just beginning, remember, this is bound to escalate further. Ashish Chaudhary, for example, says that we will, as every Indian, we will not watch and we do not encourage India-Pakistan matches. Khalid Beg, who is a political commentator, says, I will never ever watch an India-Pakistan match ever again. Monica Verma, who just spoke to India a short while ago, said, can we please stop this drama of India-Pakistan matches? So these are some of the reactions that we have compiled for our viewers to help them understand that people are linking what happened in Anantnag to the encounter, to the loss of life of officers who have to sacrifice their life in the line of duty, who are killed in action by terrorists, sponsored still and clearly by Pakistan, to why should we be playing matches and sports with them if they continue to, in so many ways, target, kill and attack Indians.
Tesla is now preparing for its big drive into India. The Elon Musk-owned electric vehicles company had sourced $1 billion worth of components last year and also targeting a figure of $1.9 billion this year. Revealing this, the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal added that the company was interested in coming to India. Tesla has been in talks with various ministries for an entry into the nation. The recent reports also suggest that the Musk-owned Starlink may also be now allowed to start services in India.
Already last year bought $1 billion of components from, I think, all of you sitting here. I have the list of companies who supplied to Tesla. This year their target is nearly 1.7 or $1.9 billion. Yesterday I had a conversation with some of the other auto industry participants, and they also indicated that they have interest in coming to India.
Let's get your news coming in from Mumbai right now. For private aircraft that skid off the runway, completely veered off, and as per the information we're picking up, there were 6 passengers on board and 2 crew members, 8 people in all on board this chartered plane. But fortunately, reports suggesting that no casualties have been reported as of now. But there is still a verification that is happening right now. The visibility was about 700 meters with heavy rain, which perhaps has led to this aircraft skidding off the runway. Now, at this point, there was a lot of speculation of whether operations have been hit at the Mumbai airport. They have confirmed, the Mumbai airport has confirmed to us here on India Today that operations have not been suspended because this has not happened on the primary runway. Saurabh Vaktania is joining us with more details on this. Saurabh, what are you picking up from your sources? 8 people who were on board. We're hearing that none of them have been gravely injured in this mishap.
Well, Akshika, let me tell you that this particular incident has taken place at around 5:45 p.m. and it was raining very heavily at that particular time. It was isolated heavy rain, and the visibility at Mumbai airport was very much low. Now, this particular aircraft which we are talking about is BSR Venture Learjet 45 aircraft, that is VTDBL. Now, this particular aircraft, it's a private jet, and Akshita, this was traveling from Visakhapatnam to Mumbai. It had 6 passengers, 2 crew members. Now, what happened, while it was landing at Mumbai airport, it was at a very less height where the pilot could not clearly, the runway was not pretty much visible due to heavy rain, and that time the visibility was just less than 700 meters. Now, what happened, this was actually was landing at runway number 27, and that time the private jet actually skidded off from the runway, and after that it crashed. Now, when it crashed, it actually split into parts, and luckily there was no major fire at that particular time. The rescue services and the Mumbai Fire Brigade officials actually have their station at the Mumbai airport. They immediately rushed to the spot. They rescued all of them. Now, what we have been learning from the sources, Akshita, is 3 people, the 3 passengers are injured in this particular incident, and they have been rushed to the hospital, and how much serious they are, that details is awaited. But the sources are clearly telling us that 3 people are injured. Luckily, the Mumbai airport have over two runways. So operation was not
So
hit,
operations
and
not suspended, not affected in any manner. 3 injuries, as Saurabh tells us, has been reported in this mishap. Fortunately, everyone has been evacuated, pulled out safely. Thanks very much, Saurabh, for those details. On the other side of a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime, we're getting you the latest updates coming in on the Anantnag encounter and the question that India is currently asking. Should we have any sort of relationship with Pakistan, whether it's entertainment, whether it's sports, or in any other manner? We'll try to answer that question for you in just a bit.
Two encounters on either side of the Pir Panjal ranges. One south of Pir Panjal in the Rajouri district and the other in Kokarnag in South Kashmir's Anantnag district. Both operations mounted based on very specific intelligence inputs. Both operations continued overnight. The first south of Pir Panjal in fact continued for over 72 hours. Colonel Manpreet Singh, Major Ashish and DSP Humayun Bhatt were killed in action in Anantnag. Rifleman Ravi in Rajouri. But why is there a sudden spurt in terror activities in Jammu and Kashmir? India Today's Sunil Ji Bhatt and Ashraf Vani bring you a top story.
A major counter-terror operation in Kokarnag, South Kashmir. Based on specific intelligence about terrorists being holed up in a built-up area close to the forests of Kokarnag in Anantnag, the 19th Battalion of Rashtriya Rifles, along with a team of Special Forces and the Jammu and Kashmir Police, mounted first the cordon and search and then a seek and destroy operation. The army and the police teams came under intense fire from well-entrenched terrorists. The commanding officer of 19 RR, Colonel Manpreet Singh, Company Operations Base Commander, Major Ashish, along with Deputy Superintendent of Jammu and Kashmir Police, Humayun Bhatt, were directly in the line of enemy fire. According to initial information, terrorists opened fire at the army and the police teams. The army and police teams immediately mounted a counter operation to break out of the ambush. As soon as details of the operation came out, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, the Chinar Corps commander, flanked by Dilbag Singh, Director General of Jammu and Kashmir Police, and Vijay Kumar, Additional Director General of Kashmir Police, rushed to monitor the operation. Colonel Manpreet of 12th Sikhlai, Major Ashish and DSP Humayun Bhatt made the supreme sacrifice of their lives in this operation. Till late evening, heavy gunfire was heard in the thickly forested area around Kokarnag. The army pressed in helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles to spot the terrorists hiding in the area. South of Pir Panjal, for the past 72 hours, another operation was underway where 2 terrorists were neutralized by the army and police in a joint operation. Late in the evening, the army and the police laid a wreath at the mortal remains of the braves who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives on both sides of Pir Panjal, taking a solemn prayer to punish the perpetrators of terror. With Ashraf Vani in Srinagar and Sunil Ji Bhatt in Rajouri, Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Over 48 hours and counting, the Anantnag encounter rages on. Tragically, we lost 3 of our bravehearts, 2 army officers, as well as the deputy superintendent of the Jammu and Kashmir police. They, in fact, were killed in action during the encounter as terrorists fired at them during the operation. Rather challenging considering the terrain. This is in Kokarnag area of Anantnag. Let's first get you all the details.
Former JNK DIG Ghulam Hassan Bhatt is composed and dignified in grief as he pays tribute to his son, Deputy Superintendent Humayun Bhatt. The DSP's death in the encounter with terrorists in Anantnag has left the valley in shock. A sea of mourners turned up on Thursday to pay their respects to Bhatt, whose mortal remains, draped in a tricolour, arrived at his village in Badgaon. Awaiting him was his wife, who stood with their 2-month-old daughter in her hands. The 29-year-old Jammu and Kashmir police officer had got married just last year. Mohali is in mourning. Colonel Manpreet Singh was commanding the 19 Rashtriya Rifles Battalion in the counter-insurgency operation when he was killed in action. Colonel Singh, who was recently honoured with a gallantry award, had been serving the army for the last 17 years. He survived by his wife Jagmeet Grewal and 2 children, 6-year-old son Kabir and 2-year-old daughter Bani Kaur.
This entire family, which is engulfed in grief, and this grief is not just limited to this family, but this village, the entire state, and perhaps the entire country. You can see the sort of emotions. There's not a single eye which is dry. Obviously, this is a huge setback for the family.
Last time राखी पे बात हुई थी, सुबह बात हुई थी. Next month उन्होंने आने की बात कही थी. अपने बेटे के बर्थडे पे उन्होंने आना था शायद. और 8-9 months रह गए थे इस पूरे उसमें यूनिट में 19 RR में. इसके बाद शायद उन्होंने अपनी पेरेंट यूनिट में चले जाना था. मेरे मदर जो है स्पेशली वो गिन गिन के दिन देखते थे कि चलो ये भी निकल गया मंथ, ये भी निकल गया मंथ, कि चलो 7-8 महीने रह गए, निकल जाएंगे.
Major Ashish Dhochak's mother says she has vowed not to shed tears. Her son died a hero fighting terrorists.
मेरा बेटा सारे देश का बेटा था, सारे देश का अच्छा हिस्सा था मेरा बेटा, सबका प्यारा था मेरा बेटा. मैं ना रोऊं, मैंने अपना बेटा पाल का देश ताईं दे दिया था. मन तो पाल का अपना बेटा देश ताईं सौंप दिया था.
Major Dhochak has left behind his wife Jyoti and 3-year-old daughter Vamika.
अगर आतंकवाद हमारे 2 बच्चों को शहीद करके जाता है तो हम उसके 4 करते हैं, 5 करते हैं, उससे कोई फायदा नहीं मिलने वाला. इसका बिल्कुल सफाया होना चाहिए.
The Resistance Front, a shadow group of the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, has claimed responsibility for the Anantnag terror attack. The forces are vowed to avenge the killing of the bravehearts. India salutes the sacrifice of the heroes. With Kamaljit Sandhu and Manpreet Sehgal in Mohali and Ashraf Wani from Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
It's not the first time Pakistani terror has bled India, and unfortunately won't be the last, because Pakistan actively ensures that these terrorists continue to enter into Indian soil and target our forces. In light of this is a debate that's been raging for quite some time, and it's essentially been reignited now on whether we should snap all possible ties with Pakistan. And I'm referring to entertainment, I'm referring to, of course, on the diplomatic level and on the sporting level. At a time when India and Pakistan have played just a few days ago at the Asia Cup and could face off in the days to come, there's a growing chorus in India saying stop any sport with Pakistan.
Pakistan killing our braves again. As Terroristan bleeds India, a massive nationwide chorus to punish its terror misadventure and stop playing cricket. Anger spilled out on the streets as angry protesters burnt effigy of Pakistan terror. Netizens are up in arms. mounting heat on BCCI to stop matches against Pakistani cricket team.
I think, whether it is cricket or it's cinema or it's any other field, there is just no reason why we should be having any kind of ties with that country.
Angry India says there would be no cricket terror tango and the country which backs terror should be boycotted from the world of sports.
What is the cost or the price of one Jawan when, we are placing entertainment first, our leisure first over the people who are taking care of us, who are at the front.
Crucially, the government too called for complete isolation of Pakistan.
जब तक हम अलग थलग नहीं करेंगे पाकिस्तान को, नहीं तो उनके लिए बिजनेस एज नॉर्मल है। हाँ जी ठीक है, बॉलीवुड वाले आ जाएंगे हमारे यहाँ, क्रिकेट मैच खेलने वाले आ जाएंगे हमारे यहाँ, सब ठीक है, चंगा है जी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। शहादत हुई है सर, इस पे क्या करें? वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर उसके ऊपर दबाव डालना है तो उसको अलग थलग करना पड़ेगा।
Several opposition members also backed shunning Pakistan.
जब आतंकी माहौल बनाती है पाकिस्तान तो उनके साथ किसी तरीके का संवाद नहीं होना चाहिए। स्पोर्ट्स ग्राउंड पे हो या किसी सोशल ग्राउंड पे हो, किसी कल्चरल ग्राउंड पे हो या किसी तरीके का बायलैटरल रिलेशनशिप हो।
BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla made it clear that there will never be bilateral series with Pakistan, but only matches under ICC tournaments.
Terrorism and sports cannot go hand in, but it had been taken a decision. It was a policy matter, and it had been decided that in international events, Pakistan will play with Pakistan.
India and Pakistan have not played a bilateral series since 2013, but they have faced each other in other tournaments at neutral venues. With Nitin Srivastav in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let me bring in on this broadcast Managing Editor of Sports Tak, Vikrant Gupta, for more on this. Vikrant, good evening. You're joining us live from Colombo, where the Asia Cup is underway. Just a few days ago, we had India and Pakistan playing, and there was so much talk of love between the two nations, about sporting ties uniting us. There could be perhaps another clash coming in the next few days. First, I want to know, what do you think about this entire boycott call? I know that the BCCI has already taken that step of saying, we won't have tournaments with them, but international tournaments, India-Pakistan clashes could still happen. Is there a chance of the BCCI saying no to that as well?
Well, that's very tricky, Akshita, because unfortunately, that can't happen. And I'm not defending playing Pakistan. Unfortunately, that can't happen. Bilateral cricket hasn't been happening since 2013. I mean, that was the last time India and Pakistan played in bilateral. But unfortunately, because the multi-nation tournaments are devised in a manner where India and Pakistan are the prime teams. So you play them in the ICC tournaments, you play them in the tournament. Now, these two tournaments are also different. I do agree and I do subscribe to the view that the Asia Cup, again, it's a smaller event. It is being run by the Asian Cricket Board, headed by India. Now, that is a tournament where the Indians can actually take a call. If they decide that, okay, let's put this Asia Cup on hold for the next 2, 3, 4, or 6 or 8 years, what happens to the clout in the Asian Cricket Boards? They'll be worried about that, because India, when we say they control the commerce of cricket internationally, they also the clout within the Asian Cricket Boards. Now, the ICC tournament is more difficult for India to either India to boycott or for India to ask for a boycott of the Pakistani team, because the ICC runs them, and then you have to have every member board playing in that. But one thing that worries me is that every time this thing happens, it's the cricketers who are being targeted. I mean, today I saw that Virat Kohli was trending on social media, abusing him, which is wrong. Because Virat Kohli is somebody who not subscribed to these killings. I mean, the cricketers have obviously they have criticized what has been happening. One thing that I can think of what the Indians might do and can do, and they may or may not do it, is when you play Pakistan the next time, maybe this Sunday in the Asia Cup final or in the World Cup, can they wear black band? If they wear black band, You still play the game, but you make a statement. So that ways, the Indian board will not be penalized or sanctioned by the ICC, and they can still make a statement.
That's an interesting point. Let's see if that happens. But Vikrant, one final question to you. Largely the reason we see these boycott calls is because they say, why give any revenue to these Pakistani cricketers, to any Pakistanis? Is there any revenue that PCB receives when you take part in an international tournament and then you face off against Pakistan?
Oh, yes. And honestly, Akshita, when we say India controls the revenues of the world because of the ICC tournaments, don't forget the fact that it is the India-Pakistan game that sells the most.
Yep.
And the India-Pakistan game matters as much to the ICC and the Pakistan Cricket Board as it does to the BCCI. I mean, you take an India-Pakistan game out of the ICC tournament, the value goes down. You take an India-Pakistan game out of the Asia Cup, the value goes down. They had a reserve day for the India-Pakistan game, while they don't have any reserve day for the other games in the Asia Cup. So you also understand the dynamics and the revenue involved. Either you let go of everything. I mean, can it be all or nothing? I have my doubts, because see, what happens is that on days like these, yes, people will come out and say, let's boycott them. But then people will forget. In 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, life will go on normal as usual. The cricketers are obviously, while I've been here in Sri Lanka for a week, 10 days, and I've seen that the Pakistani and the Indian players have been gelling together, talking to each other, mixing up well, and then they talk about unity and this and that.
Correct.
When such a thing happens, it is the Indian players who feel let down. I mean, tomorrow, why would the Indian players want to face any backlash on social media? I mean, if at all the India and the Pakistani teams are playing in the Asia Cup final on Sunday, imagine what could be the reaction of the Indians back home while they will watch the Indian.
I think it's very clear that you can't put the onus on a Virat Kohli and expect him to respond directly. He doesn't hold the power. The BCCI does, and it's up to them to take a final decision. But let's again reiterate here that there are no India-Pak direct tournaments that happen. That's a stand that we've taken. It's only in international tournaments that we play Pakistan. And can we see a boycott of that? Difficult really is what Vikrant tells us. Thanks very much, Vikrant, for joining us with all of those details. All right, let's focus on what's happening in the Asia Cup as well. Just briefly wanted to also tell you about whether we're going to be seeing India and Pakistan square off on Sunday in the final of the Asia Cup. Pakistan are up against Sri Lanka in a do-or-die match in the ongoing Asia Cup, and the winner of the match will meet India in the final. An injury-ravaged Pakistan team decided to make 6 changes to their playing 11. Mohammad Haris, Abdullah Shafiq, Mohammad Nawaz, Mohammad Wasim Jr. and Zaman Khan. They've been included in the side as Pakistan look to join India in the final. 3 of these 5 changes made by PCB are forced. The other comes across really as tactical changes. Sri Lanka, meanwhile, were asked to bowl by Babar Azam at the toss, which got delayed due to rain. This delay meant that the match is reduced to 45 overs aside. Sri Lanka struck early with the wicket of Fakhar Zaman and have largely kept Pakistan batters quiet as both teams fight it out now for a place in the final. So I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, while we've been speaking about the Apple event, the iPhone launch, let's also tell you about one of the other unique Desi features that make the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max all the more exciting for Indian customers out there.
Do you also feel that terrorism and sport cannot go hand in hand?
That's true. Terrorism and sports cannot go hand in, but it had been taken a decision. It was a policy matter, and it had been decided that in international events, Pakistan will play with Pakistan.
अब इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैंने तो हमेशा विरोध किया है कि जब आतंकी माहौल बनाती है पाकिस्तान तो उनके साथ किसी तरीके का संवाद नहीं होना चाहिए. स्पोर्ट्स ग्राउंड पे हो या किसी सोशल ग्राउंड पे हो, किसी कल्चरल ग्राउंड पे हो या किसी तरीके का बायलैटरल रिलेशनशिप हो. तो ये वो पार्टी है जो बोलती कुछ और है, करती कुछ और है. और पाकिस्तान का जो मैच है, अगर मैच होता है इसके बाद तो हम उसका विरोध करेंगे.
और इसका मुझे अंत नहीं दिखता है। आज भी देखिए कहीं रजौरी में एनकाउंटर, कहीं और का एनकाउंटर रोज होते रहे और हुकूमत रोज चिल्लाती रहती है कि मिलिटेंसी खत्म हो गई। अब बताइए मुझे, क्या मिलिटेंसी खत्म हो गई? ये खत्म नहीं होगी जब तक कोई रास्ता न ढूंढा जाए जिससे अमन आ सके। लड़ाई से अमन नहीं आता है, बातचीत से अमन आता है। आज जो ये हुआ है, क्या ये दिखाता है कि आतंकवाद कम हुआ है? किसको ये उल्लू बना रहे हैं ये कहकर? दोनों मुल्कों को वो घमंड छोड़ देना चाहिए और टेबल पे आके बात करनी चाहिए।
Apple has unveiled the all-new iPhone 15 series. The new phones will open for pre-booking on the 15th of September and will hit the markets on the 22nd of September. Apple has also finally made the switch to the USB-C cable, which allows you to charge all your Apple devices with the same cord.
These are the best and most capable iPhones we've ever made.
Apple CEO Tim Cook and executives at the company unveiled its latest devices in a recorded presentation Tuesday. The new lineup includes the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro, which has a titanium case and a faster chip. The 15 starts at $799, while the 15 Pro starts at $999. Apple chose not to raise prices during a tough period globally for smartphone sales. Both the Pro and other iPhone 15 models will have a brighter display and a 48-megapixel camera, as well as 100% recycled cobalt in their batteries. The new product announcements come amid lingering economic uncertainty, especially in China, Apple's third-largest market. It faces challenges there from expanded restrictions on using its iPhones in government offices, and the first new flagship phone in several years from Huawei Technologies. The announcements largely met expectations, and Apple's shares were down nearly 2% after the first hour of the event. Apple also showed off a new Series 9 watch with a feature called Double Tap, where users tap their thumb and finger together twice without touching the watch in order to perform tasks like answering a phone call. Here's Apple Chief Operating Officer Jeff Williams.
It uses a machine learning algorithm to detect the unique signature of tiny movements and changes in blood flow when your hand and fingers perform a double tap.
Cook also said Apple is on track to ship its Vision Pro mixed reality headset early next year.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
We've all been supremely excited by the launch of iPhone 15 and that they're being manufactured in India. But did you know that it's also got now Desi tech? ISRO's satellite system technology called NAVIC is now in the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. More details in this report as I wrap up this edition of 6 PM Prime.
ISRO took India to the moon. ISRO is taking India closest it's ever been to the sun. And now ISRO has made Indian tech a part of the Apple iPhone. The newly launched iPhone 15 series is the first by the Cupertino-based company to support the Indian NAVIC positioning technology. The higher-end Pro and Pro Max handset have integrated precision, dual-frequency GPS with the support for the US GPS, Russian GLONASS, Chinese Beidou, European Galileo, Japanese QZSS and the Indian NAVIC systems. So what is NAVIC? NAVIC, or the Navigation with Indian Constellation, represents a regional navigation satellite system comprising 7 satellites and an extensive network of ground stations operating around the clock. It offers 2 services, standard position service for civilian users and restricted service for military users.
NAVIC is not a worldwide GPS system and its coverage is limited to India and the Indian Ocean. The area extends 1,500 kilometers beyond India's borders. From 30 degrees east to 150 degrees west and from 50 degrees north to 30 degrees south. According to the Indian Space Research Organization, NAVIC signals boast remarkable precision, delivering user position accuracy better than 20 meters and timing accuracy better than 50 nanoseconds, outperforming many of its global navigation satellite system counterparts. The development of NAVIC was in response to instances of foreign governments withholding critical GPS data. An example of this occurred in 1999 when the Indian military requested GPS data for the Kargil region from the United States, but the request was denied. The NAVIC project received a go-ahead in May 2006.
The Indian government has already held meetings with handset manufacturers last year, and several companies including Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus, Xiaomi already support the NAVIC standards. There are talks of making the Indian GPS system mandatory for all handsets sold in India from 1st of January this year. The decision was, however, deferred. This is Pranav Dixit reporting for BTTV.
Pakistan-sponsored terror that has taken the life of 3 young officers, ruined families as well. Can cricket be allowed? Should it be permitted? Can cricket go hand in hand while Pakistan sponsors terror against India, against Kashmir? These are some of the reactions that I've compiled where on social media, and this is just beginning, remember, this is bound to escalate further. Ashish Chaudhary, for example, says that we will, as every Indian, we will not watch and we do not encourage India-Pakistan matches. Khalid Beg, who is a political commentator, says, I will never ever watch an India-Pakistan match ever again. Monica Verma, who just spoke to India a short while ago, said, can we please stop this drama of India-Pakistan matches? So these are some of the reactions that we have compiled for our viewers to help them understand that people are linking what happened in Anantnag to the encounter, to the loss of life of officers who have to sacrifice their life in the line of duty, who are killed in action by terrorists, sponsored still and clearly by Pakistan, to why should we be playing matches and sports with them if they continue to, in so many ways, target, kill and attack Indians.
मेरा बेटा सारे देश का बेटा था, सारे देश का चहेता था मेरा बेटा, सबका प्यारा था मेरा बेटा। मेरी बेटे का तो गणिया बाण थी, 3 बाण को न थी, बहुत ज्यादा बाण थी मेरा बेटा। तो ये मेरा बेटा तो गणी बाणा का भाई था। जिसका भाई ना था मैं पहला उनका भेजा करती, बेटा रे उनका पोची बंदा का ये रे बेटा, पास में अपनी बेबी की बंधवाई है। मैं ना रोऊं, मैं ना रोऊं, मैंने अपना बेटा पाल का देश ताई दे दिया था। मन तो पाल का अपना बेटा देश ताई सौंप दिया था।
बस ये कि हम तो यही कहते हैं कि दूसरे जवानों को भी हौसला मिलेगा। वो ये कि हमारे एक सीनियर ऑफिसर गए हैं और हम तो ये कहते हैं मनोबल कभी ढीला नहीं करना चाहिए। और
पूरे देश को गर्व आपके भतीजे पर, आपके परिवार के चिराग पर। दुख है आप लोगों को, लेकिन गर्व की बात है ये।
दुख तो सबसे पहले जी माता पिता है, छोटी सी बच्ची है।
बच्ची कितने साल की?
2.5 साल की है।
अगर आतंकवाद हमारे 2 बच्चों को शहीद करके जाता है तो हम उसके 4 करते हैं, 5 करते हैं, उससे कोई फ़ायदा नहीं मिलने वाला। इसका बिल्कुल सफाया होना चाहिए। कब तक रोते रह गया परिवार, कब तक सारा कुछ इसी जो परिवार के जो एक लड़का था, इसका बहुत ही बड़ा भाई दुखदायक कहानी हुई है। ऐसे ऐसे पता नहीं कितने परिवार ख़राब हुए हैं। इसको एकदम से ख़त्म होना चाहिए। हर देश इस आतंकवाद से परेशान है।
weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 37 and minimum 28 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 30 and minimum 26 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 28 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 34 and minimum 27 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 26 and minimum 22 degrees.
A very good evening. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Thanks for tuning in. 7 at 7. I'm going to take you through all the top political news in the run-up to 2024. Let me start with the headlines. India salutes its braves. Colonel Manpreet Singh, Major Ashish Donchak and Deputy Superintendent of Police Himayun Muzammil Bhatt die in an anti-terror operation. Lashkar Front TRF takes responsibility. Vowing to avenge our bravehearts, forces have encircled 2 Lashkar terrorists at the encounter site, including LET Commander Uzair Khan. Joint security operations hiding at encounter site underway. Wide outrage against Pakistan terror. Social media up in arms as clamour to stop cricket with Pakistan increases. No cricket terror tango, says angry India. Ahead of Mission 2024, the Jan Sena chief Pawan Kalyan joins hands with Chandrababu Naidu's TDP to fight polls. Says Jagan's YSRCP must fall. Politics speaks over government special session agenda. Congress questions the centre's list, says the centre is hiding legislative grenade. Nipah virus continues to haunt Kerala. 5-member central team has been sent to Kozhikode to survey the conditions there. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu now sends out an alert. Right, the controversy around Sanatan Dharma has almost become a campaign, political campaign of sorts in the run-up to the Lok Sabha 24. All parties indulging in its rhetoric. Today, for the first time, Prime Minister Modi has torn into the opposition. The Prime Minister fires the biggest salvo, asking for all Sanatanis in India to stand up, to rise and attack this narrative. Hitting out at the opposition, Prime Minister has claimed that Team India and their only mission here is to eradicate Sanatan Dharma and that it wants to tear it apart, urging all Sanatanis to come together. Prime Minister has asserted how desperately the opposition now is trying to plot against Sanatan culture in India. Let's have a quick detailed report on what's transpired.
ये इंडी अलायंस उस सनातन संस्कारों को, परंपरा को समाप्त करने का संकल्प लेकर के आए हैं.
The Sanatan storm has escalated in how with the Prime Minister now wading into the controversy in battleground Madhya Pradesh. Lashing out at the DMK, Prime Minister Modi has now put the India alliance on the mat over Udhayanidhi's Sanatan comment. The message is clear. The BJP is now going to make the alliance party in the north for their southern allies comment.
कमंडिया गठबंधन, ये इंडी अलायंस उस सनातन संस्कारों को, परंपरा को समाप्त करने का संकल्प लेकर के आए हैं. आज इन लोगों ने खुल करके बोलना शुरू किया है, खुल करके हमला करना शुरू करके दिया है.